Welcome to Season 2 of Let's Break Up, Toxic Workplace Stories. Join hosts Nicola and Gina as they tackle workplace toxicity head-on. Real-life stories, well-being, and standing against toxicity await you. Let's break up with toxic workplaces and create a revolution of positivity together.
As a disclaimer, Nicola and Gina's opinions are solely their own and don't represent professional advice. It's just their perspective, so form your own conclusions. Heads up, this podcast may contain adult content and explicit language. So let's dive in and break up with toxic workplaces.
Hello.
So funny story.
Let's hear it.
You realize these are recorded, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You realize on the last one you showed me your boobs.
I forgot. I don't care. I mean, I trust you. I know you're not going to plaster it all over the internet. You couldn't really, I mean, it was just like the underside, the under boob. It wasn't terrible. It was the whole thing.
Girl.
I don't even consider them mine because they're implants.
Girl, it was the whole.
They're ginormous and they're stupid and I'm getting them made smaller. Yeah, not a fan. Okay, so let's pretend this is the first time talking after we've been away from each other. It kind of is.
How long have we been away from each other for now? Like
we had a
months?
couple. It's been at least 2 months. 2 months? It's too much. 2 months, too much.
Munch.
So yes, I have to do like my blah 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 la 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 because we haven't really podcasted like formally recently.
No, we
had like one or
people.
We had like one or two really quick ones, and then we were just like, okay, gotta go. Bye. I couldn't even do the intro to that sad one with Dr. Jody because I was like driving from Florida to New York. So, it's been a ride. So I feel like I missed everything. I feel very out of the Nicola loop.
Out of the loop.
Yeah.
Well, even I having.
We're both dumb. We're out of practice.
How was your 2 months off?
Well, I wasn't off from everything, obviously, just 2 months off from podcasting. So I drove here I'm in New York still. I'm going back like the 12th. I'm starting the journey back. So I was up here in New York with my daughter and it's been nice, but like, we're both really ready to come home. Like we need our own house, our own things, stuff like that. So yeah, but she's grown so much, like her vocabulary's so good and she's become like a social butterfly. So anytime we go to the pool, she's like, I want to go say hi to my friends. And they're like all new people. Everyone's her friend. It's the cutest. She's the opposite of me. I'm like, I don't like anyone, no new friends. And she's like, everyone's my friend.
That's adorable though.
I know. That. So what have you been up to?
Well, I did not get a break from podcasting.
You didn't?
No, of course I didn't, because we still had to have mini-sodes.
Oh, I know. I didn't even know that you were doing that until you were doing it.
Yeah, and then also
we talk about
the last episodes that we had.
Yeah, we had to do that. That's true.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to like put a disclaimer on towards the end of our podcasting on season 1, I became severely depressed. So that's kind of like a little, not having anything to do with the podcast, nothing like that at all. It was just,
I made you depressed.
No, you were probably like the one thing that kept me going. But so I don't even part of the end of season 1 was a little bit of a blur because I was just like, oh God, I'm still alive every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough. But anyway, so go back to you. What did you do besides not getting time off from the podcast?
I've gone back to school again. So I'm back at school now.
You're crazy.
I am crazy. I'm actually quite enjoying the papers at the moment. Just not say
You're writing them on the right topic this time?
Apparently, barely. Oh, Jesus Christ. Honestly, if I do not get an A for this, please just have me fired at this point, because this is my wheelhouse. Like, I'm doing health and safety papers. So I'm just like, please, if I don't, what is the point of my life?
Listen, as one of my friends says, every day's a school day. So
every
maybe you'll learn.
day is a school day. I've been spending a lot of time with my boyfriend.
I know, this is like the biggest thing ever.
With my boyfriend. He's so cute.
I'm so glad that you decided after that whole like disrupt New Zealand, wasn't it? Or that thing that you spoke at?
Yeah.
That you were like, I really just wanted to see him. And I was like, that's great.
Mm.
It is. It's good. It's good shit.
We're so cute.
Are you guys like in love and stuff?
Yes.
Meanwhile, I'm still dealing with my same old. Yeah, it's okay though.
You can do better than this. If I could do better, you can do better.
So no, he filed for divorce. Didn't I tell you that?
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Oh my God, it's happening. I didn't tell you that. It's happening. He filed. It's going to be finalized. Like, you have to put it in the system. I don't know what they have to do, but it'll be finalized by end of this year.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is huge.
I know.
Oh my God.
I know. And he asked me what kind of engagement ring I want. And I said, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but this is where it is right now. And he apologized for like being such a turd to me and my daughter. And he's been kind of like making up for it ever since. So I haven't completely forgiven him, and I haven't said one thing or the other, but let's just say it's now going in a direction that I can get behind. Before I could not get behind it.
A positive trajectory.
There we go. So both of our love lives are getting a little bit better.
Look, I'm not sad about this.
No, maybe Card ZB was right.
Maybe Card ZB was right.
Okay, so you have a fabulous new BF and you guys are all in love and shit. And so what else happened?
Work. Yeah. I have a fabulous team at work. I'm very lucky to be working in an industry that is just so compassionate. And it's okay. Like, it's okay.
Good. And you're not feeling stressed out like previously.
I don't feel like I was anywhere near what last year was, right? Like, I feel far less miserable. I'm feeling a lot more settled and a lot more grounded.
You seem a lot more settled and grounded. So I'm glad to hear that.
But very curious to know more about what we're going to talk about for our now season 2.
So you want to go first? You want to make the announcement?
Which one? There's an announcement? Do you have an announcement? I've got barely an announcement.
So, well, I guess what we kind of piggybacking on what we already said at the end of season 1, like, we're surprised, like, we've gotten this far so quickly, and we're so grateful and thankful for both negative and positive reviews. It doesn't matter. Review us. Sometimes what you say, even if we make fun of you, is probably accurate. We just like to make fun at our own toxicity. Because what can you do if not be self-reflective and laugh about shit, right? So
exactly. And we could take feedback on board.
Yes, we might make fun of you at first, but then we'll be like, no, that person was probably right. So anyway, so I think the biggest thing we're going to say is we're trying to be a little bit more concise with our interviews this year, or this season, I should say, so that we don't kind of get waylaid into too many like side topics. Although I kind of feel like that's kind of what makes us us. So we're going to try to balance it better. Let's say that, right?
Yeah, we're going to balance out the topics a little more. We do have some really cool interviews locked and loaded already that will be published for the first, I think, 5 weeks.
So we already have our first couple episodes for season 2 ready to go. And Nicola had a really awesome idea, and we're going to kind of run with it. And I think that's more of the announcement. So why don't you tell everyone?
So we're going to do some investigative journalism. But we're going to be please. We're
going to use investigative journalism very loosely.
It's such a loose.
It's a broad term. Don't
topic.
expect to come on here and find like us being like crime junkies or morbid or any of those like true or like Dateline. Everyone loves a good Dateline. Don't expect that from us.
Please.
We're gonna do our
Love me
best.
some Dateline. But
Who
we're
doesn't?
gonna try a couple of different things, right? We're gonna try and kind of step out the box a little bit. And we are actually going to research some toxic workplaces. So we've put some time in to kind of make a list of the places that we wanted to research and talk about. We've reached out to a couple of people to see if they'd be willing to come and talk to us about it. We've kind of contacted, people in the industry. We kind of got like a wide range of things that we want to talk to people about, and we're going to just try different formats, I guess, and watch the space, because I'm going to say it's ever evolving, and we'll work it out as we go, like we did in this episode.
Yes, it is.
I mean, in the first season,
the first season was truly just a test run, because we were like, we don't know what we're doing. Let's just see what happens. And
let's see
as
what
we
people
keep saying, I'm like blown away that we consistently get, and of course we're not like at all in the top like whatever podcasts of all time. I mean, Dateline and I think Crime Junkie are like the top 2 in America every week.
For sure. But we hop in and out of those top numbers, so I'm not.
Yeah, but I mean,
like
it. Also just for like 2 random girls who've never done a podcast before and don't know really what they're doing. One of us might know more than the other, and I'm looking at you, Nicola. Like, I can't believe where we are already. It's kind of fun. It's kind of cool.
I know. And we're still in the top 10%, which is good.
That is good.
We've maintained.
But I also feel like, not to take away from our work, but I also feel like everyone and their mother now has a podcast.
Oh my God, for bloody sure. Like, I saw just on LinkedIn this week, like 3 people I know have started a podcast, and I'm like, do you want to reach out? Like, do you want to talk to us about this? Because ours doesn't seem to suck. Do you want to come and talk to us? Happy to share what barely we know.
Yes, the little small amount we know. But like,
the little crumb that we can share.
Like, okay, just be consistent. I think that's probably our biggest like tool in our tool belt, is that we are consistent. We do what we say we're going to do. And yeah, so better late than never, but we're consistent. Wait, but what are their podcasts about?
No, they've been, please, on my LinkedIn. We've got one about kind of about toxic workplaces.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh, interesting. I'll keep an eye on you.
Yes, keep an eye.
No, totally different from us though. It's 3 people talking, and they don't interview a lot of people. They talk about businesses, etc., which I thought was quite interesting.
Okay.
But worth listening to. I think it's cool. And then
absolutely.
a couple of safety ones. There was 2 brand new safety ones that I saw come out, which I'm quite excited about. And I might listen to those. I think the one was the Circus of Safety, or Safety Circus. And I was like, oh, girlfriend, I am so listening to this. This is right up my true crime scene.
That's right up
oh my God, talking about true crime. Have you been listening to the new episodes of The Lady Vanishes?
I haven't, and I have to tell you, so the first season, I was so maybe my expectations were too high, because I was like expecting to be this something so totally crazy, and it was just kind of like more like the long game. Like, it was more like drawn out, and I kind
now it's going back to Crazy Town.
Okay, because at the end I sort of lost interest, and I was like, okay, so
because now we're
in like all the passport entries and stuff.
Now we're in the coronial hearing, so now they're doing like the live action replays of the court stuff.
Oh wow!
Oh,
maybe I have to. Maybe I have to listen to that one.
You got to get on board with that one. What else have we got? What else have we got lined up for season 2? I'm just having a look at our guest list from season 2.
Mm-hmm. I know that we have some interesting like startup people and people, right?
We also have, and I think this is one that we're going to really enjoy sharing with people, was the lady that had like 400 jobs and like,
oh my God, that was like her first, like right out of the gate. She was like, so I've had 400 jobs in 32 years. And we're like, what? And we're like, well, who's the common denominator there?
Lowest common denominator. And I think we said that to her as well, where we were like, really?
Yeah, like at some point you have to understand, like maybe you bring way back when we first started, we were very clear that we added to the toxicity at our former workplace. Like we weren't exempt. So it's like, I think everyone has a little bit of, like I always say, like your part in it. So maybe,
what I have noticed though, is I have now noticed like toxicity coming from others, because now I'm so hyper aware of toxicity in the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
And at the moment in my workplace, I'm really, 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 and I can't wait to talk about this as a topic later in the season, but I am like fixated on weaponized incompetence, like fixated on it. And I see it everywhere, and it is so toxic, and it is driving me mental, where you send someone like a Word document and they're like, I can't open the Word document, you do it for me, can you send it to me in PDF? It's like, well, then you can't review it, can you please open the link we've sent you so that you can review it? I don't know how to review it, why is it all in red? It's like,
so how will you handle that? Will you be like, let's do a refresher on Word documents?
I have been doing that, where I'm like,
that's what would be my first thing, was be like, okay, you don't know how to do it. Maybe this is a widespread problem. Now everybody has to learn how to use.
Exactly, where I'm like, okay, no worries. I'm happy to send you a link to learn how to do it better. It should be a pretty standard practice. It's not rocket science over here, but here's a link. Watch the video. But I'm like so fixated on it, and I'm also hyper aware of not perpetuating toxicity in the organization. Yeah, I've become so hyper aware of it though. Like it's everywhere now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I think that's what happens, right? Like you talk about it all the time, and then you're like, and you start spotting it easier.
You spot it everywhere now.
I mean, it is a rampant issue, like stuff happens all the time, and people
all the time.
Just relationships with people, whether or not it's like familial or intimate or whatever, they're hard because it's hard. So yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have we're doing some deep dives on toxic workplaces that a lot of you probably already know, but we kind of want to bring a different spin on it. For instance, our spin. So for instance, I'm going to be doing a little thing on WeWork, but we're going to be putting a special spin on it, so that it's not just the retelling of the story, which I think most people know, right? Yeah. So we'll kind of give you a recap, and I think that's Nicola's intention too. We'll give you a recap of what we already know, and then kind of get a little bit further, talk to some people and see what they have to say, and then we'll go from there.
I know. As we said earlier, if we're using the term investigative journalism very loosely.
I think the biggest thing I investigate on a daily basis is how soon can I get to bed? That's what I investigate on a daily basis. If you want a full investigative journalistic report on that, then I'm your girl. Otherwise, don't have too high expectations, and then you'll be pleasantly surprised if we.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Our podcast is powered by the seamless one-click installation and WordPress starter wizard from SiteGround. Choose from pro designs, add contact forms, online stores, portfolios, all automated, no tech stress. Say goodbye to mundane setups and hello to a stunning podcast platform. Join us on Let's Break Up Toxic Workplace Stories and let SiteGround handle the digital stage for you. Launch your podcast website effortlessly, because breaking up with toxicity starts here.
You know what? Okay, hold on. Toxic workplace that I have deleted off my app, off my phone. So what? I woke up the other morning and my Twitter was a giant X. And I was like, no. It's the first time I have ever deactivated and deleted a social media account.
I've never gotten behind Twitter/X. I just didn't get it. I was like, this is stupid. It's like Facebook, but no pictures. But then there are pictures. And then it's like Instagram, but with pictures. And then people are retweeting. I'm like, this is just reposting on Instagram. They're all kind of the same version of themselves.
Okay, but think about this for a second, right? Your company has gone through a rebrand, right? How tricky is a rebrand?
It's tricky.
Okay, for a small company. For a multi-mega, gigantic, multi-million, bajillion-dollar company, and they swapped it over in what, 2 weeks?
Sounds that way. I mean, you probably would know better than me because I'm not a Twitter aficionado. So now what are they no longer tweets? They're X's? What are they? I'm so confused.
Well, they're definitely not tweets anymore because there's no little bird.
I'm still gonna call them tweets. How much do you want to bet that everyone's gonna still call it Twitter?
Yeah, well, this is exactly it, right? Like, what is the like, what was the thinking behind this? Like, is it just so that you can slap your own image on something, but you're just creating like more and more toxicity as you go? Elon, come on, mate.
And he's your people's from South Africa.
No, we're not claiming that one.
I think it's too late.
No, not claiming him.
That's what Shanique says too. She's like, he's been Americanized.
Yeah, no, he's not our people. That's not our people.
All right, well, anyway, yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, I was never like very in too deep with X/Twitter/ whatever. So I never really used it. I mean, for a minute I did, and then I was like, this doesn't make any sense to my logical brain, so I'm stopping doing it. I'm just curious to know like what's going on behind the scenes, right? Like that branding team would have been so stressed because you've got like an established brand that is well known, and now this guy's like, oh, jokes, swap it all out for a black egg. Remember one of the companies that my company worked with years ago, and they did just a logo update, and it took me forever to like the new logo. I was like, this is so ugly. The first one was better. Like, so that's just like that's not even a full rebrand. They kept the same name, everything. It was just the logo that changed. And it took me like a good year and a half to get behind the new logo. Right. So it's like that's just literal me. Once they did that brand swap, like where I woke up and it was just a black X on my phone, I'm curious to know how many people deactivated their accounts. Ooh, I think this would be a good Instagram poll. I actually think this would be a good Instagram poll too. I think maybe when we introduce season 2, we can use that as a pop-up. I think because realistically, like you're losing brand loyalty, you're creating a toxic work environment because you're forcing people into potentially doing long hours to create this vision that you have. But I think we already knew that Twitter before it became X was at my favorite word was problematic because we heard all those rumblings about Elon Musk saying like, if you're not doing this or that, you're going to get fired. Like that's, remember like, or I don't remember. There was a couple of other things, but again, I didn't pay too much attention to it because Twitter is not my jam. Maybe we need to do an episode on Twitter. I think we might actually, now that we're just riff-raffing about it, you never know. This might be a good one. I think it could be because I feel like it's a very hot button topic. And it is, and it's because it's happening as we're recording, like, whereas like WeWork or LuLaRoe or whatever, it's like people have come before us, they've done the dirty work of the true investigative journalism. We're just going to be piggybacking on that because just want to let everyone know we're not investigative journalists. Did we mention that? How fun would it be to be an investigative journalist? Like what do they do like on a day-to-day basis? I don't know. I think it would be a lot of work. And I think at the core of who I am, I'm too lazy. I could do it because I'm tenacious like that. You are, and I'm tenacious and motivated in certain areas, but that's just, again, I'm going to say it again, not my jam. It's not your bread, it's not your butter, and there's no jam. There's no jam being had by me. Wait, you guys have your biscuits. Biscuits. So cute. Do you guys put like cream and jam on your biscuits? So when you say biscuit, do you mean cookie or cracker? No, I'm talking about like those scone things that you have. Oh, okay. Yeah. It depends. Some of them are so delicious that they don't need anything, especially if you warm it. But some of them does need a little like moisture in there. So butter, jelly, jam, anything. Anything
Okay.
goes. Yeah.
I just find
Mhm.
it fascinating. You call them biscuits. It's very weird.
Well, a biscuit is actually like a flaky pastry in America. It's like a biscuit is almost like a dinner roll, but it's denser.
Yeah, it's like a scone.
Yeah, but a scone usually has like additional flavors, like cranberries, walnuts. Like
No,
here,
that's a
that's what.
muffin.
No, scones are harder and they're triangular.
No ways. Scones are
Mhm.
like round.
Muffins
and
are
squishy.
totally different. Like sometimes, like if you just get a muffin from Dunkin' Donuts, you could just eat that shit straight because it's so
Oh
moist.
my God,
and it's also like
I think I need to make you a scone so that you can have like a comparative.
scones are usually drier, and yeah, that's that. Here they are, and then muffins are something different, and then cupcakes are something different.
Oh,
and
cupcakes.
then,
We all know what a cupcake is.
okay, and then a biscuit is something totally different, and then you have your regular like dinner rolls, which are totally different. So
I
we got
love
a
me
lot
a
of shit.
dinner roll. Look, I don't love a carb. Like, I don't naturally gravitate towards carbs.
Are you insane? If I didn't get fat, I would eat carbs all day, every day.
No, it's just not something I gravitate towards, but I do love a hot dinner roll.
My God.
Like a
With a little
warm,
bit of
fresh out
butter.
the oven one.
Oof. Have
And
you
it's
ever
got
had a
that
King's
smell and you're just like,
and it's all yeasty, or like a good sourdough? Ugh, a good homemade bread. I think we discussed this on season 1 because our person from who had like, what was the Blue Steel was making
Zeta.
homemade European bread, and I was like, that is
Yes.
please give me that as a gift. I will eat the
Yes.
shit out of that.
I know, it's like we will be like little Hansel and Gretel with the
Yes,
little
he could have
breadcrumbs.
Hansel and Greteled our asses to any big oven with the promise of homemade artisanal
bread.
European bread.
Here. Like, I've got like if you're baking me a fresh bread, I am all up in that carb.
I mean, even if I knew you were like a serial killer, I'll be like, I can take them. I'll just get the bread and run.
Look at them. Oh my God, my mother once hit me with a stale baguette. Stuck with me forever.
Oh, I'm sure. It's a lot harder than it probably, yeah.
Needed to be. I think it was even a sourdough, so it was like really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a piece of wood.
Yep.
Anyway, we digress. So welcome to season 2. Thanks for having us. Thanks for coming back.
Thanks for coming back and for allowing us to figure our shit out as we go.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be our like strap line for the rest of eternity, is we're just going to figure it out as we go.
Yep, we sure are. I love
All right,
it.
well, I will see you next week for our very first episode.
I'm going to see you tomorrow.
No, you dork. Like for the season, you muppet.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my bad. We have other things. We have other
I'm going to
behind
see you tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm aware I'm actually going to see you tomorrow, but we're only going our audience is only going to hear from us next week.
Leave me alone.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's hope that we're a little bit more buttoned up during the actual season than me being like, what are you talking about?
Chucklehead.
Oh my God. Okay. I'll see you later. I'll see you tomorrow, Nicola. Everyone else will see later.
We'll see you next week, everyone else.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Let's Break Up, Toxic Workplace Stories. If you enjoyed our candid conversations and insights, don't forget to hit that like button, follow us on social media, and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform.